Hi, I'm Naudi, Certified Strength and Conditioning Coach, and I'm going to take you through a little boxing routine with using these cables right here. First thing I'm going to have you doing is throwing a jab. Very important that when we're throwing this jab, we're going to keep our feet staggered from here, and then from there, we're going to be bending at the knees when we're at the backward end of this punch, and then as we're coming forward, we're going to extend and rotate those hips. That's what's going to help you improve the pop behind your punch. And we're trying to develop a snap here. That's the beauty of this cable right here, is it forces you to develop a snap. So you're going to be coming from here, bending at the knees as you come back, extending outward as you come forward. And make sure you rotate those hips, lock in that transverse abdominis, lock in that left glute, extend that hip. That way you get that proper power out of that punch. All punching power really comes from the hips. None of it really actually comes from your hands or anywhere else. It's primarily coming from your glutes and your transverse abdominis. About another 5 repetitions here. You can even explode into each one of them. From there, we're going to go into some straight punches. And again, if you're an orthodox fighter, you've got to make sure that your stance is orthodox at all times. So I'm not going to switch my hands if I'm trying to come here. It's like I'm on my southpaw trying to throw a jab. Make sure you get into your normal stance. And from there, I'm going to throw straight punches again. Give you guys a little bit of a side view. Going to be extending outward with each one of the punches. And again, rotating as you're coming over. That rotation is what's going to lead to the pop behind that punch. Rotation and extension from that hip. Also a great core workout. And on top of that, it's really good for getting your cardio if you're going from one exercise straight to the other. About 2 more. Alright, now we're going to throw some hooks. Now I want to drop it a little lower because with the hook you're kind of coming upward with it a little bit. So just drop that about another level. And again, in your regular stance, we're just going to come at it with an angle. You want this little cable to be about in line with your forearm right here. From there, we're going to be rotating and throwing the punch over. Now, let's make sure that we also pivot that left toe over as we're coming back. You're going to pivot and come over. Pivot, come over. Again, always bend at the knees as you're coming back and extending, coming forward. Switch sides. The cable is in line with the forearm. I'm going to be doing a right hook this time. Stepping over, pivoting that toe over. So again, this is good with recoil. In case you throw like a 2-punch combination, just with your right hand or just with your left hand, it's great for recoil power. So when you throw that punch and you come back with the second punch, it's not going to throw you off balance. So it's ultimately like it's going to help you. So where you're going with one, if you go with one shot, you'll be able to back it up right with another one. It's not going to throw you off balance, where it's kind of like you're going to fall forward. Your core is going to be able to stay in more of a locked position when you're actually throwing those punches. Every single time you throw that jab, you can bring it back. Every time you throw that straight, you'll be able to bring it back. That's what this is going to help with. Now we're going to do some uppercuts. Just coming from the lower point. And again, just extension and rotation out of the hips, making sure we're still in that same stance, same staggered stance. Stepping over a little bit so you guys can see my mechanics. I'll pop them straight upward from there. Now, a very important thing to keep in mind when you're throwing these uppercuts is that you're not just loading them up here. Anytime some of the best boxers that you've ever seen, it's almost like they'll kind of like load up their punch as they're coming back with their elbows, so they'll have their guard forward, but then they'll kind of load it up and bring their shoulder back, and then they'll power it off from there, from their hips. So you're just bringing that head back, and then just loading it, and that's how you're going to throw that hook, utilizing those hips to launch that punch upward. We'll switch sides. Again, same stance. Making sure that cable's in line with the forearm. I'm going to be coming upward from there. Alright, that'll be it. That's a good little routine that you can follow for some functional punches. Help you improve your power, help you improve your recoil strength. And thank you very much.